Okay guys, aloha, and well, on this video I'm going to take you on a trip on the lower orchard, and we're going to show you what longan look like. Longan is a Chinese fruit. It's also called the dragon eye fruit, and it's a super good fruit. If you've never had it before and or have seen it, let's go check it out. But if you're thinking about, a lot of people say, hey, I want to have a homestead. Well, homesteads, a lot of the times, they'll have orchards, they'll have grass, they'll have a lot of things that you got to do to be able to keep this thing going. So I've got my machine here, and I'm going to go back there and I'm going to start mowing all the lawns back there. And I've been mowing right now about 60 acres myself of lawn all over this place, because I have the only motor right now that's working, so I don't let anybody use my machine. But let me just go over this machine real quick. This is how I cut all the orchards right here, and this is called a Tiger Cat, and it's electric fuel injection. It's called the Tiger Cat 2. It's got a 28 horsepower engine. This thing will cut through, as you'll see, I'm going to cut through 7-8 foot tall, all different types of grass and stuff. But this thing is a workhorse. So it's a 0 point. Let me just show you, and we'll go take a ride in the back here. But you just turn this guy on, wait until the fuel injector pump goes ahead and fills. Boom, boom. And these are the handles right here that make you so you can go ahead and turn this thing. I need 2 hands here for the switch. So here's the brake right here. Take that off. And these are the handles. And you can see if I put one forward and pull one back, this thing will turn on a dime. If I put 2 forward like this, it goes forward. And if I pull 2 back, I go backwards. And if I want to spin around, boom. So this thing's really super tight. I can go under all the trees. And if you're looking to get a mower, Skag's one of the best. I have 5 mowers here, John Deere's, other Skags, but this is the best model I've ever had. This is again the Tiger Cat. So these are lychee trees right here. This part of the orchard has about 300 lychee, about 275, something like that. And we just finished harvest a little while ago. The grass I'm driving on right now, if I don't cut it, you can see some of the grass that I missed right here, but if I don't cut this in, well, let's say every 6 weeks, this grass will grow 8 feet tall like it did over there, because there's a dead tree right here. And we didn't pull out the wood, and we can't get in with the mower too quick, but you can see this grass on the ground is the same as that grass right there. It's called cane grass. So, what do you think, 10 feet? So we're going to be cutting a lot of different grass, but let's go check out the field over here. And this thing's really fun to drive. It's dangerous too, though, if you don't know what you're doing. So make sure we're still recording. And now we're still traveling through the lychee field, but you can see how we trim these trees up here, and you climb in the trees to harvest the fruit. Okay. Here we go. Now we're starting to get into longan, and you can see all those fruit in the trees right there. Let's go over this way. I'll show you how the mower works just on this right here, because I always travel as I'm using the mower. If I'm going to ride that way, I turn on the mower, turn it on full power, and then lift this button up here to engage the deck. There we go. But anything I run over, pretty much, it's gonna blow that stuff right out. You'll see in a sec. This isn't that high grass, but we're gonna go in the back and you'll see some grass. See what I just cut right there? This is about I cut this about 10 days ago, so it's already grown that much. So having animals is super important in farming. Right over here. Not sure if you can hear me too good. Okay. I got my gear on right now too. I've got my hat on because I go under the trees and I want to make sure spiders, fire ants or anything. I've got protective lenses. I've got 2 jackets on because you can get fire ants and different stuff in here, debris that falls down you. And I've got some heavy duty sweats on and some thick socks to be able to protect myself because these trees are super dangerous. So this is what Longan looks like. This is, like I said, called the Dragon's Eye. And these ones are pretty much almost ready, but they should be about the size of a quarter. So these ones are like another maybe week out. So let's just grab one anyways. I don't see any real good big ones. Here's a bigger one. Okay. So you can see it's got a nice hard shell, but it cracks easy. And as soon as I crack into it, super juicy and it's full of perfume, like a perfume flavor. Whoops. I was gonna say this is what they call it, the Dragon's Eye, but that one didn't come out good. When they're small, they don't have a lot of meat on them, but they get pretty big. When you can see these guys. Let's see if we can get this one. These fruit are full of phosphorus, full of vitamin C. For every 100 grams of fruit, you get about 84 milligrams of vitamin C. Okay, so there's the little eyeball in there. But, we got a little seed inside, and you can take that seed if you want to, grow a tree. But just to give you a look, you can see trees loaded, look, loaded, loaded. Those ones are way bigger over there. Let's take a ride over to the banana trees over here. And I'll show you some of the other areas here. So, you know, a lot of people want to have a farm, but remember, you having a farm means you're going to do a lot of work, and it's fun to do. Okay, so I get a chance to learn all the different machines, bring back all my skills when I was a mechanic. Not a mechanic, but when I did a lot of mechanics when I was younger. And you learn everything on a farm because you have to know everything. Electrical, plumbing, garden. I mean, we don't use any Roundup here. We don't use any pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, as you can tell, because there's weeds growing underneath the trees. So if there was Roundup here, it would be all brown under the trees. That's just cut grass that I just cut maybe a week ago. Look, I missed a few. These are all bananas right here. And so I went through here and cleaned up everything. But since it rains here quite a bit, you know, you get grass that grows. But look at how beautiful it is to have fruit in your backyard. Beautiful. So I've cut all that line, but you can see this is what I was cutting yesterday here. And I left a couple of patches just so you can see, but that grass right there is this big all through here. This whole place, because we had problems with the mowers here and we didn't mow this for about 6 months, and this is 6 months worth of growth of the cane grass. So I hit that stump the other day. I couldn't see it, but that's how tall the grass was through here. You can see right there. So I'm just going to turn this mower on. The mower's like, remember, you know what it would take to cut through this grass with a weed eater? And this grass is cane grass. It's super sharp. So you have to have a good mower, and you need a commercial mower. This is a commercial mower, so if you're going to buy one of those cheap Home Depot Club Cadet garbage mowers, you're just going to burn it out. I mean, they're good for cutting your front lawn and stuff like that, but if you have a farm, you need good equipment. So I've gone through a lot of equipment buying cheap crap just because I thought I could get away with it. And you have to do the maintenance. But here we go. Let's turn this bugger on. So I'm gonna lift up the mower deck a little bit because that's some thick grass. So let's just go through it. grass when it's tall like this, it's not easy to cut. So let's go through here. How's it? This is big king grass. See how they're just shooting right up. And all of this through here was like this before, so I've already cut out a lot of this. You see these weeds here? I use the machine here, and so all these weeds come out. So you learn how to lost my mic there. Okay, I just wanted to show you. Oh, I also have earplugs in because you need earplugs. But I just want to show you how fantastic this machine is. And you can see in, like, let's just say 6 months, these trees, if you do not go ahead and maintain them, the weeds will grow, look, almost as high as the tree, and they'll just take and smother the trees. So this line right here had some salt. We had some salt blocks for the animals back there, and it leaked through, so it hurt some of the trees here. But you can see all the trees pretty much over through here. They're all loaded full of fruit, and so these guys are a little bit bigger right here. And you can see that's a nice little rack. Take a couple home for Hodo. So look at those. And let's try one. Oh, that was a small one. There we go. So that's what they look like up close. And they got this little really like clear meat. Ah, there we go. To the bigger ones you can get the dragon's eye. So that's pretty cool. There you go, the dragon's eye. And when they just get a little bit bigger, you can see, oh, those are good. So having a farm is really sensational. It makes you feel good, you know. Like I said, all these weeds were up this big, and I just beautified this whole thing. So part of the human existence is to beautify things, love things, co-create things, right? I co-created. Look, you put trees in here, banana trees. These were co-created. These aren't natural. These were put in, and somebody's got to take care of them. If not, these trees will grow and just take over the orchard, and you just lose it. So when I took this orchard over, it was in bad shape, and so the trees are coming back pretty good, but these trees were in bad shape before. Fertilized them. And when I cut the lawn, I shoot all the grass under the trees because the grass here is loaded full of peanut grass. As I can show you right here. This is all peanut grass right here, and this is a nitrogen loader. And so a good place, grass that you see has this grass called the peanut grass, but it grows into the trees. like this. And so I just go in with my mower and I sweep in and I pull all this stuff down. If not, it'll grow up into the trees and smother it. So, and you can see different grasses grow different heights. This is maximum height for this grass right here. This one here, cane grass, 10 feet tall right there. So again, this machine's the Skag, and this is the Tiger Cat 2. Holds 10 gallons of fuel. And talk about, that's like me hiring like 15 guys to one of these things. Is much more than that, maybe 20 guys with weed eaters. I can do more work, okay, paying 20 guys than, you know, this machine can go ahead and do so much. So you need a lot of good equipment when you do have a farm. It's just like, think of these weeds, okay? These are bodies, right? And each of these trees are healthy, living beings. And the grass, if it's maintained, right, it's a plus, because I can shoot the grass underneath the tree, and the trees will be fed from the grass, all the nitrogen and the minerals from the grass. Then the grass that I'm cutting won't grow as fast, and if it does, I shoot it in the trees and makes the tree grow better. But if these weeds now, it's not grass anymore, now it's a weed, because this weed takes over the tree. It blocks it from photosynthesis. It becomes a parasite. So we have parasites in our body the same way, and if you don't manage your parasites, okay, you don't manage your pasture, your body, then the grass, the weeds, the parasites, the archons, the demons will take over. So it's super necessary to be able to if you own something, okay, like this machine, I have to maintain it. If I own my body, I need to maintain it. And if I don't, well, I just falter. It's just the way it is. I have to protect my body too. Same thing. Okay, so honoring yourself is also a human virtue, because if you don't honor yourself, then that means you don't see the gift of life, because the body, remember, is the way we move around in this world. And this tree right here is the same thing. This is this tree that feeds us, feeds the world. And if we let these types of well, you can say it, colonizing plants grow into the tree, these will steal the food from this tree and also block it out from sunlight and make it so it won't produce fruit. So you can see that one's taken over there. This is sort of a bad part of the orchard. But anyways, okay guys, beautiful day. I mow the lawn here about 2, sometimes 3 hours every night. And I take care right now until we get the other mowers fixed. I'm doing all the land. I've never done it before. I've always had people help me. Okay, but mowing is really fun. It's meditational. It's really beautiful. I already did this video once before, just so you know, and that bloody sound didn't come on. It didn't work. So maybe I'll put that at the end of the video too, because sometimes I'll add some things in here and there. It just depends on, I don't have a script. We just talk from the heart. But having a homestead means that that's most likely, that's why, remember, you did get married before. You did have children, not just because they were going to be your toys, right, or your mascots, but you needed them for the homestead. And you hopefully got some girls that would go ahead and do what they like to do, and hopefully you got some boys that'll do what they like to do. And there's a lot of things on the farm to do, so it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl, you just figure out what you like to do, and there's lots to do. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to reach in your backyard. I mean, look at it. Beautiful banana trees over there, loaded full of bananas. Go in your yard and grab fruit. Yeah, the fruit only comes once a year, okay, but we have in the back there, behind, way behind those trees, there's another orchard back there, behind those big ones, and that's called a rambutan orchard. And those trees are getting close to picking too, so we can go over there and take a look at it maybe one of these days. But let's just take a little ride over this way just for a second. I'll show you how this machine works. But just think, if you had this place, remember, it's an honor, just like your body, it's an honor to take care of it. It's an honor to beautify it. It's an honor to be able to just know that you own a gift from, you can say God, the Creator, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. This intelligent design machine, right? I'm dreaming my hand to do this, right? I'm dreaming it. And we're multidimensional, multifractional, so it's hard for us to grasp these ideas, but I'm the physical avatar. That's me. That's what I look like. I can transcribe light, and I can see things, I can feel things, I can smell things, but they're really only chemical reactions, right? Watch the Matrix. It's true. But there's a dreamer. Remember, the dreamer lets me do this. It lets me speak. Even lets me breathe when I want to breathe, but it, since it's multidimensional, it breathes when I don't even think about breathing because it's automated, right? Do you beat your heart? Some people can speed it up and some people can slow it down. I can. But, again, okay, multidimensional, multifractional. You own the body, but the dreamer is what animates the body. So, anyways. As we get older, we found out a lot of things, and we find out a lot of things are never to be known. So the mind of a real mystic finds out that, well, everything's a mystery. Even how a blade of grass works, it's a theory. The heart's a theory. Everything's a theory. Have you been to the sun? Do you know what it is? Oh, have you been to the middle of the so-called planet? Because you say it has a nickel core. How do you know? You been there? The mystic mind always understands that everything's a mystery, because this is the mystery plane. Everything's a mystery. And the bigger ones are the better. And you can see they're starting to get a couple of fruit flies around here. And those damage the fruit because they're going for the mature, ripe ones. But the fruit flies, they can't really get into these too easy, not like lychee. So let's try another one. They shoot up in your face. They're sweet. And sort of have like the consistency of like squid or like mushrooms. But this will give me a little spike energy. And once you eat one, they're just so good. We don't use any pesticides, you can see. No Roundup. And I drive inside here with the mower. I mean, all this stuff was huge. This, you can see this piece of pain grass I missed, but all this stuff was huge in here. You couldn't even see. Well, we usually keep this up, but the mower's all broke, so I've been doing all the mowing on all 3 farms. And that's a lot of lawn. Wow, those are good. Okay, so let's just go up here and we'll check out where I'm gonna, and you can see I've got about an acre of bananas over here too. We've got mango, we've got about 300 rambutan in the back, and we're just leaving right now the lychee orchard. And like I said, this got like 250 or so trees. There's about 300 longan trees in here, and they go way in the back there, and they keep on going down. So let's start this booger up. And when you turn it on, it's fuel injection, so you'll hear a little pump, and wait until that stops, so it primes the engine. And these got to be in both positions because it's got safeties, and you have to have the brake on. So I put the brake on, and it'll start right up. Once it's started, you pull the mower deck up, and that'll engage the blade. There you go. Take the brake off. If you don't take the brake off, you open these handles inside, you'll shut the engine off. So, it's here, let's give it a try. And you can see how it just, and I already went through this probably last week. You can see how fast it goes. Let's start up here, cut across. You can see these are all bananas right here. And what I do is, when I'm cutting the trees, I'm pushing all of the grass. This thing's smoking a little bit for some reason here. Yeah, maybe it's in the engine gets hot. That's the first time I've ever seen smoke on it. Anyways, I can smell like a couple of leaves in there. So, what a magnificent machine that you can cut through this thick stuff. And this stuff is sharp. This stuff will cut you if you try to cut it by hand and stuff. These are really sharp, like they got little sawtooths. You can see there. They've got little serrated blades. Those will cut you. Going up is like a knife, and going down, you can't go down because of the blades. So these things will cut you up. So good luck on that. And taking care of that machine, you got to grease it all the time. Got to take care of it, just like your body. But you can see, I'll rip out all these weeds through here, because all this stuff, remember, it shouldn't be there. And what grows up this is called peanut grass. So you put the peanut grass in here, and if you don't maintain the peanut grass, it'll grow into the tree and choke the tree. And this is only about probably 4, 5, 6 months. But the peanut grass is super amount of nitrogen in there. So that we shoot the grass into the tree and feed the tree with the peanut grass. And this is called cane grass right here. And you can see that there's different grasses, all the stuff right here. This is all peanut grass, full of nitrogen. But like I said, if you don't manage the peanut grass, and it comes off easy, but I'll take it off with the machine. I sweep the machine under here. Yeah, you'll sell your farm right away. So you have to have the right machinery, right tools. And I mow every night right now to keep all 60 acres under control. About 2.5 hours, and I can take care of this whole place myself. That's pretty good, as long as the mower doesn't break, right? Oh, that was good. This flower just fell. Flower. Look at that beauty. And this is an invasive species here, but it does give out a beautiful flower. And you can see this thing just grew here because, and these are really wimpy trees. Oh, there's another flower. There we go. Another beautiful flower. Look at that. Yowzum. And they do have a little smell to them too. That tree's probably only a couple years old, and drops all the flowers, grows more of these things, and then the limbs just break because they're not strong. So a high wind, they break. You can see there's another one, so we have to come through here with the chainsaw. So anyways, I just wanted to show you. You can see I'm going to cut all this lawn. And this stuff's thick. Just this little stuff, look how thick it is. And when I start walking into here, and you can see there's lots of different things that are growing in here. These are all plants that you go to Home Depot and pay 30 bucks for, right? Look at this thing. So we've got mangoes, and then behind those trees, there's probably another 1/4 mile or so. And that's got about almost 300 rambutans, which is a really cool looking fruit. We can maybe go back there and I'll take you a look. But you can see I'm going to cut all this stuff down. Right through. You can see, look how thick this stuff is. And all this grass down here, this is why I don't have to fertilize the trees. Except for when they have fruit. Okay? Because it's got all these different nutrient grasses. You don't just want one type of grass in your orchard. So this is cane grass, and you can see these are all different types of nitrogen fixing plants that'll grow in here, and then I grind them up and shoot them under the trees. And the trees basically then don't need to be fertilized. So you can save a lot of money. If not, you'll spend $5,000 a year. So you go ahead and throw a bunch of grain out for peanut grass and different types of grain, grasses that that have high nutrient value. And look at how deep this stuff is. So I'm going to go through here and we're going to cut this up. So here's dragon fruit, so I have to be careful. This dragon fruit tree has beautiful fruit on it, so I got to make sure I don't run that over with the mower. And if you run stuff over with the mower, you can break it pretty easy. So you don't want to run over coconuts. It'll eat them up and stuff, but you can tell it puts a big. So this is dragon fruit. And there's lots of different types of trees we have in here. We have about 10 mangoes, and like I said, a lot of bananas. So, okay. This is the bottom orchard and farm. And, you know, all this grass here is food. So, you know, that's why we have cattle here, sheep. Everything eats the grass. And when the grass dies, yeah, it lets off methane. Whether it's eaten or not, doesn't matter. It dies and it goes ahead and dies and it decomposes. So, yeah, you don't have to worry about cow farts because the plants are still going to give off methane. They die and they decompose and they give off gas. It's just what it is. So all of this grass, instead of just shooting it out, because if I shoot this grass just in the middle, then the grass minerals is going to go ahead and make the grass grow faster. So I want to shoot the grass under the tree as much as possible. And you can see how I clean this tree out. I mean, I cut this. You can see there was a tree growing in there, one of those African violets. I just cut it down with the mower, and I swept this all the inside of here. This thing was loaded full, just like this one was. So I'll go through here, and a lot of these dead branches, this tree's got some sickness to it. So all that stuff's got to be broken off. But there's only a few trees that are, this area right here had some salt that came down and burned all these trees. Put some salt licks up there, the water comes down here, frickin' killed them all. Right in this lineup, as you can see, they're all brown. So salt kills the plants. Okay. There we go, and this is a poisonous plant right here. This is like a castor bean plant. It makes these little beans right here. And I can't get it out of the ground, but yeah, these aren't good for your animals if they eat them because it'll kill them. Sort of similar to raisin. Raisin's from the castor bean. It's like a castor bean family, super poisonous plant. If my sheep eats that, they get sick. So, anyways, there we go. Look, those plants are bigger than the mower by far. Okay, that's enough, guys, but just wanted to show you. It is fun having a homestead, but it's a lot of physical work. It's not sitting in a chair pushing a bunch of buttons. It's actually having a lot of fun doing a lot of physical labor. Keeps you in shape and makes you feel when you get done that you accomplished something because you did something physical. Because physical things in this physical world do give you dopamine. Okay, yeah, it's work. The machine's doing the work and I got to learn how to use it. If not, I'll break the machine, right? So, just like anything, anything's easy once you learn it. But this mower, you can flip this thing over and kill yourself too. I mean, this thing got a 37 horsepower engine on it. So you got to watch it. You can wheelie on this thing. The thing spins around like a like one of those bucking Broncos. Okay, I got some dust in my throat from the mower. So having, some type of a homestead is super enjoyable. And there's, having fruit that grows in your own backyard. And if these trees that give you fruit, if you can have other animals, people, you're making food. Because making food is pretty sacred, isn't it? That is perfect. First bite is like perfume. Talk about the most sacred job in the world. One of them, being a farmer, bringing food to the world. And if it's not a real commercial farm, you got a lot of work to do. You got animals, they need to be fed every day, they need to be cleaned every day. They get sick, you got to take care of them. You don't call the vet, you do it yourself. It's just like when you get sick. Do you know how to heal yourself? Do you have enough choices to be able to figure out, how to maintain? Look, I didn't maintain this area here, and it got out of hand. So I'll cut this in about another month or so. It'll be way easier to cut. But this time here, it's going to take me a while because I got a lot of maintenance here. And look at all these weeds. These weeds are like parasites. And if these things keep growing, those things will grow bigger than the trees. In areas way in the back, look at, these are bigger than that longan tree. They will keep growing and growing and growing and smother out the tree. The vines will grow up the tree and smother it and kill it. So these are parasites to the trees, even though they're just plants, but they need to be managed. So you can't get rid of all your parasites in your body, but you can manage them because you just pick them right up again. So watch our videos on parasites. Very important to learn about parasites and detox that I see of sickness. You get toxic, you get parasites. You have parasites, you are toxic, is because the parasites poop inside you, and that's a very toxic poop. So I got lots of videos, good ones coming out right now. We just put out an ice massage therapy video and learning how just the lot of ins and outs of cold therapy, because that's something that everybody should know how to do, because first action on any type of injury is the fastest and best way you could go ahead and treat an injury. Okay, we got to get the inflammation out. If not, you get scar tissue. But anyways, watch that video. Just also finished a video on parasite cleanse using 4 special herbs in combination. So instead of buying the stuff, which you can't buy anyways, you know, encapsulated for, you make your own. I show you how to make it, grind it, make your own capsules for nothing, and it's a very, very, very effective herbal cleanse. And we're doing another video coming up here on anti-parasitic medications, on 5 different medications that are used for humans and animals for a variety of demons, archons, right? These parasites, whatever you want to call them. I call them the adversary. What lives in the body, remember, is your adversary if it's not you. It's not only stealing from your table, these parasites, but they're pooping in your church. Parasites live in your body, they poop in your church, in your body. And after a while, the poop builds up and you get toxic in the mind. You get depressed in the heart. You get sick because of the feces. Because, well, that's what they do. So, anyways, parasites are very important to learn about, and they are scary to look into, is because they're bizarre. What are these things? They're not human. There's no human DNA in them, but what are they? Well, all we know is that there's no need for any of them to be inside you. And if they are inside you, you're infected. And everybody's infected to some degree. Okay, guys. The sun's going down, but what a beautiful, serene place. Good place to come out. When I cut the lawn, I meditate, is because even though it's all noisy, I got my earplugs in, right? And in order for these earplugs to work, I just spit on them, right? And you want to put the ear with this little protector, the rubber protector, with wet. You get it wet first. And sometimes I don't have water out here, so I spit and use spit in there. And that seals them really good. If not, you know, these engines are loud and you need ear protection. So if you don't have that, you will damage your ears. Wear eye protection. And wear, of course, gloves. I got good rubber gloves, thick ones here, because you need them. So this is all your protectional gear. Okay, that's enough, guys. We'll see you, and I'm going to have a good time and bring some longan back for Hody and the boys. All right, we'll see you guys. Aloha. And if you're ever in a tropical place, try some longan. And it's got to be fresh off the tree if you can, because that's the best, because it's full of energy when it's off the tree. So when it's at the farmer's market, it's already been picked. A lot of what you eat from the tree, remember, is energy. You're getting the chi from the fruit. It's got energy in it. So when you pick it off the tree, it's got the energy. When you take it off the tree, it slowly loses its energy, and that's why it falls apart. Anyways, that's another story. All right, aloha. All right.